Okay, I'll ask the question again. When I first came in, the reason I came in is because polygamy was being shot down. So my question when I first came in, and it still stands, is if a man and two women, sound minds, intelligent people, if they decide that they want to put their resources together to build wealth, my question is why does that relationship have to be sexualized?
Oh
And
no
then
no no.
let me finish. That that focus has to be on whatever type of sex life they have, or why does it have to be deemed as something that's negative if those individuals, regardless of what they come into it with originally, if those three adults of sound mind decide that they want to have that type of foundation for their family, why is it wrong?
No, sir.
Okay,
I think you
let me answer the
misunderstood.
question.
Wait,
Let me
because he said that it was being shot down, and I was one of the ones kind of saying that, not saying that, but that may have sounded like that's what I was saying, but I wasn't. Well, I wasn't saying that it can't work. What I'm saying is that what I'm seeing is that a lot of people are using polygamy as a means to satisfy their sexual deviances. I'm
yeah.
not talking about polygamy in its true form and what it's supposed to be. I'm not talking about that because again, I believe live and let live. If that works for if you like it, I love it. You understand? If it works for you, it works for you. And I'm not here to tell you that it's wrong. I'm never gonna tell you that it's wrong. But what is wrong is when, like for instance, I said, like, okay, um, a man uses it as a means to keep um just keep a group of women, like for instance, you have say
But you
this
using one example. You just using a reference to one man doing polygyny completely wrong and
no
one
no no no
example
no
of it. You know what
no
I'm
no no
saying?
I'm no I'm not
So so that
I'm what
shouldn't
I'm
be the
saying
model
is
of your thought process of what polygyny is, just
that's
because this
not the
one
model.
man is
That's
doing it
not the
this way.
model of but that's not the model that I have. That's the point that I'm making, that I'm aware that it's wrong. What I was saying was when people started saying that it was about, for instance, my responses were coming from there was a young there was a woman who said it's to procreate quicker, to have as many babies as possible, and she posed the question, do you want to see this black man again? And so what I was saying was, well, it doesn't make sense to give a man a bunch of babies if he can't take care of them. I feel like there should be definitely a foundation that's solid enough before you go throw these children on it, right? I'm not going to go throw the children on a foundation that's not solid. I feel like if that's what it is, if it's about building wealth, then establish yourself as a solid foundation and then introduce children, especially if you want to introduce multiple children. Do you understand what I'm saying? I just don't I don't respect when it's used as an excuse to just be a poor human being. That's the thing that I have an issue with. I don't I again, what what a person does or how they live their life is how they live their life. But I'm specifically talking about the situation. So I wasn't shooting polygamy down as a whole. I don't personally believe in it. I don't not that I don't believe in it, but I don't personally agree with it, and it's not what I would do. But I'm not going to say that it's wrong or that it's all bad because I'm sure it works for some people.
Right, right. I agree with that, what you just said. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what I was going to say to answer the brother's question. You know what I'm saying? If you have one man and two women trying to build wealth in a polygyny, the problem will always come when those women get pregnant. When the women get pregnant, then what are you going to do if you are dependent on these two different incomes to essentially survive?
I'm gonna
That's
tell
why
you.
I believe
Can I
it's
answer that
that,
question?
that that's why traditionally polygyny has always been done when the
Can I
man
please answer
who
that
was
question?
the sole provider and he was able to afford having those resources to have those multiple
Can I
women.
please answer your question?
Yeah, go ahead,
I'm gonna
MD.
answer your question. When that woman has those babies, that dude is gonna take care of them babies.
How would he take care of the babies if he needed them in the first place
No,
to
listen to what I'm
survive?
saying to you. I'm about to explain it to you. If okay, I'm gonna put myself in a situation. I'm the man, and I got two women, and they got resources going on, right? So I got some stuff going on. She got some stuff going
They
on, and
got
she got some stuff
resources
going on,
going
right?
on.
Right. So it's two girls that got stuff going on. I get them pregnant, right? So that means for that 9 months or that year or whatever, they're gonna do as much as they can. I'm gonna do as much as they can, or whatever it may be. So when they have the babies, I am going to take care of the babies, and they're going to continue to do what they need to go ahead and do.
What?
Yes.
You gonna take care of the babies
Hell yeah,
while
I'm gonna
they
take care of my
continue to
own
work?
children.
How, I mean, you not, you know what I'm saying? Would you
About
be
Wait,
able
what?
to be there to breastfeed the children?
I don't
You know
have
what
to
I'm saying?
breastfeed the children.
I
I'll make
mean,
that sacrifice. I
would
will give
you?
me. They'll go. They'll pump the milk in the
Yeah.
morning before they go to work and do what they need to do, and I'll have all that together.
Yeah. Can I
That
say
that
wait,
is that
whoa,
is the
whoa. I
most
missed
I,
something.
that is the most unique or
I know, and it works.
creative type of
It works.
solution I've ever heard of
It
before.
works. I bet you
Who
it
But it's
said
works.
it's also possible for one
who
of the
said
women to
that?
stay home as well, though. I hear you, number four. That's a real answer in some situations. But if you have two wives and it's three of you, it is possible for one of the wives to be pregnant at a different time than the other one,
Right.
or it's possible for one of the wives to take care of the children while the other wife and the husband go to work. So
Right.
it's not about looking at trying to figure out why it won't work. It's just accepting that different dynamics between different people can figure out how to make it work.
Right. That's
Wait,
what I'm
Polygamy
saying.
is
but I
just
feel like
You
polygamy is
I
not a bad thing. It's not a
So
Right.
so
bad
That's
thing.
you
what I'm
so
saying.
then that
I'm
means
providing a
instead
solution.
however you cut it, you're going to be down one income provider.
No, you're
If it's
not.
three people providing for the
No, you're not.
household, you know what I'm saying?
So
If you
what
do the
happens is
other
this.
brother's
This is what happens.
idea,
This is what the guy
it's
needs to
gonna be
do.
Hey,
down to two
number four.
instead
I'm
of
gonna
it
answer your
being
question,
three.
man. This is what
Well,
the guy needs to
let
do.
me just say this to him real quick. Number four, real fast. When I said the three individuals, Polyandry King, when I said the three, I did not give you a specific dynamic. Maybe the three come together with an understanding that one is going to stay home and the other two are going to work. And that the one wife that stays home is going to be the first one to get pregnant. At which point there is no change because they're following their plan.
There you go.
You understand?
Can I say something? Can I say something? 59
wait, I don't
ministry.
wait,
Miss
I'm
Wright. Go
sorry.
ahead, sis.
I
Go ahead,
I
sis.
feel like I feel like I missed completely missed what MD
Okay, can
said.
I explain it again, please? Let me
Please,
explain it. Let me explain it one more
I
time because I gotta go. I gotta go too. I gotta go. So let me explain it. This is just what I'm doing is creating a solution, right? I feel like polygamy can work in certain situations. So when the guy says what he said, what I'm saying is you as the man, you have to be able to plan out when these children are going to be born, right? You have to plan it out. It's a part of your job and your responsibility to those women. So if you feel like these couple women need to work and build wealth first, I feel like it's just the same way if it's me and another woman before I'm even think when I'm thinking about having a baby, I'm already planning for it already. I'm already putting the money before the baby even is in here. I'm already putting the money together. I'm buying the Pampers and shit. I'm buying all the stuff that we need. So I'm gonna go through the whole 9 months. So when the baby is born, all that stuff is gonna be there already. Now, if my woman sacrificed her body and she was already doing something already, just say she was a pharmacist and she sacrificed her body in order to bring a child for us. I am going to be the sole provider of that child and take care of that child while I help her get back healthy and get back to her pharmacy duties. And also, when you're talking about polygamy, I think it should be practiced once you already build a wealth. Just like the guy in Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? They say out there that if you can have six, five, four, five, six wives, but the guy is already rich because he's taking care of the woman. The
That's what
whole
I've
thing
been
is taking
saying.
care of the
Can I,
woman.
That's exactly
MD?
what me and number three was saying. That
Yeah.
is traditionally done when the man already has the wealth and the finances. in,
Right.
in the relationship to take care of these women.
Right.
That's
Can I
always
say
been
something,
how
bro?
polygyny has always worked.
Can
You
I
know,
Right.
say something?
this new idea of making the women work to survive in a polygyny household and stuff. That's a completely new, different topic
Right.
and a
That's what
subject.
I'm saying. The
And
man
it's
is supposed to
all
take care of the woman.
and the way that you guys are describing it, just know that it's very experimental because no one has ever
Now, there
done
you
that
go.
before.
There you
It's
go.
very experimental.
Polyandry. I just want to say something. The way I view what y'all guys are talking about, I don't hear anything wrong. Who is right? MD is right. 59 is right. Polyandry is right, and this is why. That last word you used, brother, experimental, excellent, and this is the reason why. I myself have two wives, and this here, what you're saying, I agree with everybody, and this is why, because there's a different paradigm for everyone. We're talking about people from Nigeria. We're talking about, but when it comes to the actual coming together, there's always some type of exclusive, provisional agreement that those people come to. And each person has to agree the way that they're going to do what they're doing to suit their current financial position. So that doesn't mean that it's wrong to start if you don't have the money. Doesn't mean that it's necessarily right to start when you have money. However, whatever situation you in that's going to make it work, you're going to do it. And and
That's
and
right.
it's always experimental because you don't know what it is that you're going to encounter as a couple. And sometimes you might be like an MD. I'm sure he's been cooking for his children sometimes, and you know, you just have to be willing to be a ninja. You have to be willing to fill that space to
I
maintain
don't
the
think it's
integrity
nothing
of the
wrong
union.
with.
I agree with all of y'all. I think what y'all doing right now is beautiful.
Man,
Oh my
that's well
God. And
said,
you know
Osiris.
what?
Well said.
What you just said, man, that
Facts, facts.
sometimes the man is the one. Thank you. Because see, the thing is that's exactly the point that I was making, that a lot of the problem that I see is that men, some, not men, there are men um who use polygamy as a means to um to push this narrative that, you know, I'm the man, I run this thing, women
I
only
think if a
have.
man can take care of two families, he can have two wives. That's my belief.
Who is that?
I'm sorry, I forgot that I was on y'all line. I'm YK.
Oh, no, you good. No, yeah, that's kind of what we were, what I was saying too, that I don't think it's, there are men who will take on two, three, four, five wives with no source of income.
Oh no.
And it's like, and it's like, why? Just so that you can say that you have this many wives, you know?
Yeah, I
And
was actually asking that the other day. Like yesterday, somebody came on and said he be having like a lot of different girls and stuff, and like all this and that, and how he does polygamy. And I'm like, well, what is the point? And that's why I go to, what is the point of getting in relationships? And like for polygamy, is it about the money? Is it about like the wealth building, or is it about family, community? Just the reasons why different people do it. And I guess everybody is different, and I like to understand like your perspective on how you do things, and how you look at things. So that's why I like these discussions.
I like what the African guy said. I want to be disrespectful, call you African, Nigerian guy. I mean, because a lot of times in America, a lot of black males always say like, I'm going back to polygamy because that's the old way they used to do it in Africa. So we're talking to a guy that is a part of an African tribe, and he's teaching us the way it's really
exactly,
supposed to be.
exactly.
So if it's like if everybody else is adding on this other shit, then it's not authentic. We have to go back to the source. If
And
there's a
that's what I'm
homeland and he has
saying.
his
Yeah.
ancestors and they're saying like, hey, this is how it goes down, and I'll listen to what he said, and it really does make a lot of sense, then we should be able in America, we should be like, look, that is the source right there. Not what we're making up, but what it actually is from our ancestors who came from there.
Right, right. And if you deviate from that, from what our ancestors did, then you're going into the realm of experimentation. So you are experimenting on something that has been practiced centuries ago. And if that's what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and do it. It may work for you. But just know that, you are deviating from, what I'm saying, what our ancestors traditionally did. So yeah.
But that's the issue. That's the problem, that there are men who do deviate from that, but still try to assert that I'm doing it the original way. I'm
Right,
doing,
right, right,
I'm here to represent what our people were in the beginning, and that's not true. We
right.
did not
Exactly.
we did not oh gosh, I don't want to so I just so like for instance, if in a polygamous situation, if uh if the woman that you take on, one of the wives that you take on, has children from a previous
I knew they
situation, those children are not to be left behind, because you're perpetuating another generational curse on those children, right?
Facts.
They're
Facts.
part of that. They're a part of that deal. If you can't take care of that woman and her children,
Yup,
she doesn't need to be your wife.
yup.
Facts.
It's a package.
Facts.
facts.
Exactly.
You can't
Right.
separate the
And
child from the
a
mother.
woman has to know that too. Like a woman has to know that. Like a woman is the one that has to choose to be with a man that don't
Exactly.
and all that type of stuff.
Believe it or not, I believe that a lot of women would do that, being that the cheating rate is so high. If you sit down and learn and realize that, financially, or you'll be stable, or your family would be in a better position if this man take care of you and you do your part, it might work out.
Right.
But and that's where it's a problem, when a woman chooses to take that route just because she
Right.
would rather that than to be cheated on, and on top of that she's choosing to be with a man that isn't even financially stable enough to take care of her. And I'm
And she
not
becomes
talking
a
about,
slave.
listen, exactly, exactly. And I'm not talking about, listen, I believe in growing together as a unit. I'm married. My husband and I,
Uh,
we're going on 10 years. I believe in growing together and working together. And I'm not talking on no gold digging type stuff, like, oh no, he got a da da da. I'm not talking about that. But on at least the most basic of levels, especially if you're talking about practicing polygamy and building a nation, and you're talking about, I want to have all these children and all the rest of that, then you need to be financially at least in a where you can provide.
Take
Am
care
I
of at least
wrong?
one of them first. At least one.
Exactly. Am I wrong?
At least one.
Is that wrong
One
thinking?
should be one should be a representative of what you can do for everybody else.
I don't think it's wrong thinking, but I do think to try to force your understanding on another woman. And again, I use this example. If there's one man and two women and they all agree, however the dynamic you see in your mind should be, if they agree with their dynamic and they have love and they have peace and they have understanding and they have a plan of action, if all
Right.
of that's
If
there,
they
it
have
doesn't
all
matter
of
what
that.
anybody else has to say.
If they have all of that. But what if they don't?
Well, that's
And
why I premised it by saying
And even
a
then, and
sound
even
mind.
and even then, I my my aim is not to force my views on anyone. I'm expressing them, and they can be taken or they can be left. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, I'm doing the same as anybody